Welcome back to the Truth Be Told. We're just having a little chill session right now. Raspberry room in effect. We all realness today. You see the shorts, we barefoots and socks. You know, we're back again. So, what should the topic be for today?
I know one thing that's been on my mind there is a young man in San Diego, and he is being persecuted right now for supposedly intentionally infecting people with HIV. So it was on the news, and the person
ABC7.
It was ABC or Fox. I don't know, one of them. But yeah, they've had I guess just and somebody like came forward that is trying to bring it to the courts and everything, and they're trying to put him away for this. So. Yeah.
Well, is there actually like facts on him like infecting individuals with?
I mean, from the story that I from when I watched it and what I was reading about, there somehow the person that came forward has like texts from them where he's like saying, "Oh no, like he thinks I'm negative," like smiley face, like things like that.
Oh, some shade thrown.
Yeah.
Did he infect women or men or both?
Just men. Men, from what I understand.
I did see that story on the news, and you know, the only thing that really bothered me is that they kept flashing his picture and his name. Yeah. Like, it'd be one thing to report on the story and just say, you know, someone was suspectedly supposed of infecting people intentionally with HIV. But the fact that they actually flashed his name, flashed his picture, I'm not really down with that, because, you know, that causes a whole community frenzy. Yeah. That causes people going up to your house, and you know, we all know kind of ignorant people that will just react off some ignorant shit. Yeah. So I wasn't down with that. That was the part that I was, you know, most like messed up about. And then the other part I didn't really agree with was like, how do you know the person that sent you those text messages that said he wasn't really going to tell you he was positive was really, you know, because the kids are shady. Let's just be real about it. The kids are shady, and you know, we've all had our moments where we like to throw dirt on somebody's name and really just get them together. And I really feel like deep down inside, a part of me feels that it was some shady shit going on in that situation.
So you don't think he was HIV positive?
I think he was HIV positive.
But then why shouldn't he get his name showed across on the news and stuff? Because you don't know who he infected, and maybe somebody needs to get checked out so then they can take care of themselves.
Well, the thing is, though, too, I mean, when it gets down to the point, when it comes down to the point, it comes down to you to decide whether you're going to have unprotected sex or not. You can't put that off onto somebody else.
Right.
I mean, like, you always have the choice, and if someone's going to have raw sex, regardless of whether they say they're positive or they are negative or not, like,
you should still be smart.
Exactly, because you don't know what people are keeping in, why they're not saying something, so you can't blame anybody else for that. As wrong as that is, I don't think it's right to do that. But
I mean, I would think, well, now that you guys speak of it, I mean, would you possibly might think that it's something like deeper on the inside of that individual who's supposedly
mad because he got
security. Maybe they're not,
because the one that came forward, he was infected. So yeah, I'm sure he's real mad.
But was he infected by him? The guy that's now being broadcast and slandered across the United States.
Well, we don't know
that. I guess we don't know.
Well, at the end of that, I think it just comes down to this personal responsibility. And just like you said, you decide to lay down with somebody, regardless if they told you their status or not. You're supposed to protect yourself. It's a 50-50 commitment. So if you lay down, throw that ass in a circle, bust it wide open, girl, don't be mad. Don't be mad. You just need to go and get that ass tested after you do it, because let's be for real. We've all, well, at least I've had situations where, you know, I seen the jump off. I was like, oh, we're going to go all in, raw, balls deep. We're going to do all that.
I feel like we're saying that, like, the other person needs to be responsible and accountable. And I agree with that. That's true. Like, you're supposed to put yourself first and be safe and protect yourself no matter what. But, like, everybody knows at the heat of the moment when something's going down, like, you ask that question, and if that person tells you something, you gonna believe them. Not everybody's willing to go that extra mile, like, let me see the paper. When the last time you been tested? Well, not everybody.
That's when you turn on that light and you lift them balls up.
Right.
What is this? What is that? Is that a yellow hair? What is that?
But at the same time, like, we can't excuse his actions either if he's out here hurting people. Like, he's doing it on purpose, and that's malicious intent, if this is true. Because then we're saying these things about the people who need to be responsible and take accountability, but at the same time we're low-key excusing the people who are infecting people on purpose. And that's not cool either, because that's raising the rates. And
so would you consider that to be manslaughter?
No, because HIV isn't like,
it's not death.
Right.
No, because I still feel at the end of the day, it does not help community norms and stigma when you try to criminalize people that are HIV positive. It does not help it. All it does is villainize something that we've been trying to help make people perceive as it can happen to everyone. Once you start pointing people out and criminalizing things and start, oh, we're going to punish this one for that, they're going to punish it, slowly but surely you're going to find that other personal rights are going to be taken away because of this. Because if I could prosecute you for being HIV positive, I could prosecute you for having cancer. I could prosecute you for being diabetic. I could prosecute you for HP. It just leads to like kind of nonsensical charges against people. And you know, it just goes back to being responsible on both ends. The person that's infected needs to be responsible, and also the individual that's laying down to do the deed needs to be responsible. Like both parties need to be responsible. And just like Donnie said, if somebody says, "Oh yeah, I'm negative," that, and you know, y'all right in the middle, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna ask for no paper, baby. If my dick is hard, your dick is hard, and we're in this bed, I'm not asking for no clinical paper, baby. I don't want to know who your doctor is. What you want to do? Top, bottom, reverse, baby. That's what I'm asking.
Well, first you gotta feed me, because if I'm hungry, I'm gonna eat.
Let's make this straight. Overall, all you need to do is get tested and take care of yourself. Take responsibility, and if you have HIV, please be open about it, or be open about disclosing to people. If you need to get tested, hit us up at Revenge. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Revenge. That's R3VNG. And schedule an appointment with us to get tested at 323-329-9912.
So, okay, moving on to our next topic, transitioning into more personal responsibility. Let's talk about this Ray and Janae situation.
Before we do anything, I don't know about y'all,
where he slapped that bitch.
Yes, because it's going to get very shady. Pull it on.
We chilling. So what's up?
I saw the video before they got into the elevator, and I saw it when they were in the elevator after.
Right.
She was all up in his face.
You saw the before.
When it was like World Star, or I was on Huffington Post Black Voices. That was I was on. And you know, because they always got the real tea when you want to get them.
It's better than World Star Hip Hop.
It is. It's better than World. Huffington Post Black Voices. If you really want to get the real tea, you go on there. But what had happened was, they were walking to the elevator. I don't know if she spit. It looked like she spit on him, but she was all in his face, basically jumping at him. Like, what you gonna do? What you gonna do, Craig? What you gonna do? And then he got in the elevator, and then that's when she turned around and tried to play Solange, and he wasn't Jay-Z and knocked that ass out. And that's
okay, now, I will say this. Two things. One, did he do something that she ended up finding out that wasn't, you know, liking to her belief? To the reason why she still
tell us all that.
Now, I mean, at the same time, I don't feel like you should spit on anybody. Like, that's just the most degrading thing, period.
But then it's like, why did she do it?
Right. But at the same time, when we're talking about domestic violence, we also have to talk about when it comes to domestic violence for our community, our gay community.
Correct.
As well, you know, because all of us, you know, the majority of us want that homo thug, that straight and that heterosexual relationship where it's the trade and the femme. You know, we want that because I've had that.
Some of us just want a guy with a backbone that just ain't gonna take shit.
At the end of the day, you know who you're with. You know who you're with.
Right.
And when you get with a dude, you know if he has the potential. If in the first 2 months of y'all talking, y'all get in an argument, he all on you like he finna whip your ass.
Because I would say, y'all all know me, I am a white woman in America. The moment you come over to me, I don't know what is this, but at the same time, you know, I don't feel like any type of physical altercation or abuse is acceptable. Exactly. That is just a non-negotiable, non-acceptable thing.
On the other side of it, I know how I am, and I can provoke. I'll be the motherfucker to be like, yeah, your mama was a base head. That's why you ain't shit. I know how I get down, so I can see if somebody want to bust my motherfucking mouth open, and I wouldn't feel any type of way about it because I know how I am. The facts are. They were out as a couple. I think they were married at this time because there's a lot of. She was his fiance.
No, I thought it was fiance.
They were fiancés at the time. Regardless of that, they had an altercation, and what had happened was that whatever Janae did to aggravate her man,
spit on her.
he knocked her the fuck out in that elevator. Like, he dropped that bitch like he didn't even know her. Like, he didn't even know her. And it was so smooth, too. It was like, she was coming up to talk shit, and he was just like, I duke it. It was like some Street Fighter shit. And she was just
like sleep. She was like,
it
really
was like
sleep.
some more.
It was really like, it was sad because she was really going hard, and he was just like, bitch, shut up. He was just like an uppercut.
No, for real.
And she was
Seriously,
So,
y'all, how do y'all feel about that?
Yeah,
I don't
Okay,
condone,
let's go one by one.
Yeah.
I don't condone men hitting women.
Period.
But what did she do?
For
but
real.
still, I don't condone men hitting women at the end of the day, because women can't do everything that men do, and we just have this regular strength about us to where we can't be doing all that. But I heard that she spit on him, and spitting is nasty. That bitch don't have no home training, so why would she even spit on him in the first place?
That's
but
true.
I mean,
Donnie,
did he?
Donnie, what you think? Yeah.
You guys know I believe. Why violence?
The emotion.
You could have pushed her, not pushed her. You could have held her, like, stop, like, where are you spitting on me? But, like, to knock her out in the elevator, drag her out, and not even have the decency to pick up her shoes.
her flip flop.
Like, you really hit her like she was a man.
I need some Chinese laundry or something. Like,
I don't like it.
Look, at the end of the day, people are not going to like me, but all I have to say is you pick and choose your battles.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you pick and choose your battles. So we're not going to sit here and say, oh, men shouldn't hit women. That happened in 1879 where there was knights, ladies, prince, lords, and castles, honey. Men nowadays,
medieval times.
yes, men nowadays are not chivalrous like that. They don't open doors. They don't, they honk for you to come out motherfucking side. Nobody knocks on your door no more. So when you go hard on a man like that, and you're already being very intimidating, you're putting yourself in a situation where you might just get your ass knocked out.
Okay. But then what's wrong with you to where you can't just be like, okay, she tripping. And
okay,
but people
let me just put in my personal thing.
Okay.
There's been a lot of situations where I've been with my partner, and you're going to say the right shit because you're my partner and you know me. You know what's going to press my buttons.
True.
So we all been with our friends. You've been the third wheel in the situation. All of a sudden, Keisha want to go hard on Lorraine. All of a sudden in front of you because you think you want to save her. And then she get her ass whooped and she like, oh, girl, why you didn't save me? Bitch, because that's when you're a man, honey. And that's how I feel about it. If I was there when Janae got knocked out, I would have helped my bitch up and been like, girl, you know he crazy. Why the fuck?
And it's true, he does this for me too. He will tell me straight the fuck up. You know that nigga mad, you know that nigga crazy.
I would just honestly say, like, I agree where all of you guys are coming from, but at the same time, you're a man and you're a woman. Now, if you take flight on me,
okay, then
but
that's what I'm saying.
I'm trying my hardest to hold back, but it's still like, but that's something different. They're together. They're an item.
Let me just ask this. So none of y'all have been in a physical altercation with a significant other?
Yes,
almost.
Yeah,
I haven't. But it should never get to that. Because if you feel like you can hit your significant other, then clearly it's not gonna work.
I don't know about that. I don't know
I don't know about
There
that
shouldn't be
either.
no violence in between your relationship.
I don't know about
There's
that.
a thin line between love and hate.
I'm
If
gonna
you're in love,
Then you don't love that person.
no. Because that's always been my thing. The only
You was a
person that
broken record. Then
Let
Raphael
Say something.
Look, okay. Just me in specific,
Trey.
I'm a very
Trey,
just me
baby.
specifically, I'm a very emotional person as it is. So usually when I get lovers or when I get involved with someone and I invest in somebody, I usually am falling for the person that actually does know how to get under my skin, because I want the person that I know how that I love, or the person that I'm with, I want them to know everything about me, and I want to know everything about them. I want to know how to push their buttons when I need to push their buttons, and sometimes when I need to be put in check mode, then I would kind of there's that teeter-totter thing.
Right.
But at the same time, I'm not saying that I'm not trying to justify his actions or anything like that. But like I said, there's a thin line between love and hate. There must have been something that she had did to really agitate him, and with him in his right mind, knowing knowing the stigma that we get as black men and the reputation that we already have, you know, hitting women, just being the typical stereotypical angry black man and hitting our women, there had to be something there had to be a nerve that she struck.
Getting off what you were saying, though, I agree with a lot what you're saying. My thing is, okay, first off, we talk about equality. I don't like how everyone's going back and forth with a male and a female. You don't hit a female. I don't care who you are. You don't lay your hands on anybody else. But the thing is, I agree. I see what you're saying. I guess the way I see relationships, I don't know. I mean, if you the way I see it, home is if you can go to the worst place with somebody. Right. Naturally, you should be able to go to the best too. You can go. It's about those opposites.
Exactly.
Right. The thing is, the home to me is when you can go to the worst, ugliest place. You do the worst, horrible thing, but the person still loves you. Yes, baby. And it's like regardless. I mean, I'm sorry. Like if they still love each other and they still want to be together, I am so for that. And people may be not about it, but the thing is, like, that should be the one person that should be able to handle that. Like the one person who can, because the thing is, like, I mean, I'm sorry, like the person that I'm with, of course they're going to be able to make me feel amazing. They're going to be just as capable of the opposite.
Are you with somebody?
No.
But let me just say one thing.
Come on.
No, because what I heard
and I'm Trey.
Was that he said I'm with someone, so that's what I heard. I said, wait, Thomas, you with somebody?
He was giving the
Are you the jealous?
He was giving the
I'm not with.
At the end of the day, we are not going to sit up here and act like that was the first time Janae ass got drugged.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
How long you been with him?
We've seen.
How long have you been with him? That's the first time you got caught on camera. Right. You been popped before, girl, because you stayed with him. Because I knew I had a very good friend.
Girl, that's new to me.
And he used to like to pick dudes that would be very aggressive towards him like that, because he thought, oh yeah, I want a thug, I want, homo thug, homo realness, whatever you want to call it. He used to like those type of altercations and going in. So I also know people that feed off of that shit. Right. That be like, if my man don't beat my ass, I don't know if he really like me or not. Like,
but you never know somebody's temper until they get pushed to that point.
I love
and
that
part. You love that part to where you get slapped.
No, because that part. It's so raw. That's real. I'm sorry. It may be out of control, but
so
that's
you get your ass knocked out.
I'm not saying I'm getting hit. I'm saying
you're in a coma.
I see what you're saying. Like, to be able to push somebody to that limit.
That turned
them
me on.
To express that.
That's a different story.
Now this Keisha and Belly.
Huh.
Yeah. Let's talk about that communication. I know in the 3 years that me and my partner have been together, some of the roughest times lasted a long time. And when you're in a relationship, that's going to be the major issue. It's communicating and understanding the person's point of view. Because a lot of the times he said, you always in your feelings. And a lot of times I'll be like, you ain't in your feelings enough. So if you're super sensitive and you're with a guy that's not really in tap to his emotional, it's going to cause a friction, because something that may send your radar off, cause you to cry. Right. Like, how could you do this to me?
Like,
I don't want to feel like sunshine.
Because my Auntie P know, baby, I am a true born Cancer, July 20th.
Exactly.
We are the most sensitive individuals, so I will. I wouldn't say get into my feelings, but I am very emotional, and for me, it's like, to be able to communicate with your partner, especially just in any relationship, if you don't have that emotional security to know that your partner can understand you, not saying that he's going to or he or she's going to agree with you, but being able to know that he understands you, he or she understands you in the way to where, okay, look, my partner does not feel like this. The reason why he or she's feeling this because they don't, that's just them. I'm going to respect. So as long as you have that open dialogue and that open communication in our relationship, I feel like it makes everything so much better. At least for me.
Yeah.
Well,
because, child, I will go to the movie and cry over somebody getting hurt.
Well, I mean, I definitely agree with that. My thing, with the whole communication thing, it's like when I think people get so caught up on how it's coming out when it really doesn't have that big of a difference with me. I mean, if you come out and you're yelling or whatever, or it's loud or whatever, if things get a little physical, but if at the end of the day, a little physical, but if at the end of the day, if at the end of the day you express to me how you really felt, and I was able to be like, oh, okay, well, now that clicks. Okay, I know not to do that. I know not to say that, or I know that makes you feel this way. I mean, then you have the information, and you know not to do that, and then it's up to you to either change that and communicate with them in the way that they respond in a positive way, or continue to do it in a way that's going to make them like, wow. The wild out.
I feel like in any relationship, sometimes we always say, well, this is who I am. I'm going to stay this way. I'm gonna be like this. You better accept me or not. No, let's be reality. It's not about because if you get into a relationship and the partner that you with is really something that, or is really someone that you can see yourself growing with, and if you're not used to it, that's fine. But if you know the person you're with in a relationship is going to make you better, at some point in your life, you're going to have to change. I feel like people are so afraid of change in our community that they don't want to deal with it. But in reality, change is what makes people better.
Okay, that was our show for today. So remember, get tested and always take personal responsibility. Invest in your relationship, especially invest in the communication of your relationship. Yes. So tune in next time.
Let's fight back.
Let's take revenge.
Bye, guys.
Bye, bitches.
Make sure you follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Revenge. That's R3VNG. Or give us a call at 323-329-9912.
Next week on Truth Be Told. If you're black, Jack tends to be more black friendly.
I've been around a lot of heterosexual men who are just like comfortable.
Yeah.
Right. And they don't care, they know the tea or whatever, and it's like, okay, it's cool, whatever. But I've always experienced the ones who do extra are the ones well, obviously you're looking at me.
This is how you make it. I feel like people make it such a big deal in such a negative way that it's like, okay, I'm actually doing the same thing you're doing, I'm just not physically meeting that person.
Only on Bond TV.